Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 48 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today and all this month, we're talking about confidence. And our topic today is reframing failure to increase our confidence. Now, I don't know about you, but I learned to embrace failure quite a long time ago. I learned about it and heard about it first from Tony Robbins in terms of taking bad situations that are negatively emotionally charged and just taking the emotional charge and the sting out of them and taking the lesson that you can learn from that particular situation. And once we become an observer, we can kind of watch and replay it in our mind. We can see, okay, well, this is the part I played in it. Let's be honest. I'm not going to make that mistake again, or I'm not going to do that next time, or I'm not going to say that next time, or whatever comes out of that little visualization technique. I learned failure is, and this is what really Tony Robbins taught me, is that I get to define what everything means. I get to define what success means. What is success for me? Because success for me is different than success for you. The same is true of failure. Failure to me, I've redefined it. I mean, and it's like impossible for me to fail unless I don't learn anything. I keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. Things like that. I've defined failure as something that I can't even hardly get to. So I don't experience that feeling. I don't have that feeling. Do I fail probably more than anyone else that you know? Probably. But that's because I'm willing to go out and try things. I've got enough confidence to know that it's just feedback. Failure or setbacks. I actually I call them setbacks. Little things that don't go the way I want them to are setbacks or obstacles or something that I tried and it didn't work exactly. So I have to tweak and test and do something a little bit different to, if it's something I really want to get to work for me. A lot of things just don't matter, right? We build up in our mind that there's going to be this big thing. And then it turns out that as we look back at our past, those things that we thought were going to happen and be the end of our life or the end of the world, they happened, the thing happened, the event happened, but we assigned way more meaning to it than it actually had and way more impact than it actually had. I call that catastrophizing because I have a tendency to catastrophize, make a catastrophe. Okay, I can't talk. Make a catastrophe out of little things or what ifs. And I'd like to say that I changed my definition and that fixed everything. It helped a lot. I also knew and began writing down and documenting whenever I had a setback. I would stop. I would take a few minutes. I'd say, okay, that did not go as planned or how I expected it to. What can I learn from that? And what can I do next time? Because I'm the only one that I can impact with respect to this, right? But I can also impart and teach other people to do the same thing, to understand that whenever something doesn't go the way we want it to, it's not the end of the world. It's just information that we need in order to figure out what does work for us and for our life. I had to do the same thing with frustration. I used to be frustrated all the freaking time. I mean, and my definition when I examined it, thank you, Tony Robbins, was if something wasn't going exactly like I expected it to in the timing and et cetera, with all the different characteristics, how I expected it to, then I would get frustrated. And I realized I thought I had put that nonsense to bed. But once I had granddaughters, I realized that worry for their actual physical safety became like that for me. And worry about them understanding and doing the things I asked them to do. I used to ask 3 times my granddaughters, and they're toddlers, to do something. And then if they didn't do it, I would get frustrated. I'm like, whose problem is that? That was totally on me. I'm getting off tangent with the whole frustrated thing. It spent a lot of time. But my point is sometimes we think that we've taken care of something and cleared it up and changed it for us. And it comes back up in a different way because there's still little subconscious programs running in our life that impact and actually determine whether we can even see things or not. And so we want to make sure that we're dealing with those. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to define failure. We're going to redefine failure, which helps us to reframe it. We are going to look at it as a stepping stone or feedback that we've got to have in order to get the success or the thing that we want. So from a personal standpoint, our action item today is going to be to look at one of our failures, maybe a past one, maybe a really big past one, or maybe one that just recently happened, something that just didn't go according to plan. And I will tell you, I can think of those things daily in my life, but I automatically reframe them now and pull the lessons out. So I don't have to do a step-by-step process for this, but I recommend that you do it first. First, as soon as you notice that something didn't go the way you wanted it to, what is your immediate reaction? Start to just observe and notice those things, because when we become the observer and we're just watching ourselves do things, it has a very different perspective than we're actually living and feeling and breathing and experiencing the thing. We can only observe it after we've experienced it, right? But then take that recent failure and extract at least 3 lessons from it. What are 3 things from that situation? Replay it in your head and say, okay, what are 3 things that I can learn from this? Maybe it's not about you at all. It's about the situation, but you put yourself in that situation, so it is about you. So maybe it's about finding ways to make sure that you don't put yourself in situations that could be leading to your failure, right? Maybe you took a job that is like way, way, way above your skill level. And after about a month or 2, they figure that out, you figure that out, and you realize that they're going to let you go. They let you go, and you're all mad and miffed. The truth is, you already knew you were in way over your head when you took that job, right? I've had a couple of jobs like that where I thought, oh my God, I'm in way over my head. And then I jumped in and figured it out, because I pride myself in being able to figure stuff out. It's important to be flexible and be willing to say, oh my gosh, this is not what I signed up for. This isn't going to work. And I actually did that in a job or 2 along the way, because I was like, or with clients along the way, hey, this just isn't working out the way we thought it would. I wish you the best of luck. Here, try this person to fill the needs for you. Sayonara, baby. So let's think about some of our past experiences today, reflect on them, and I challenge you to have a failure handling process, or whatever you want to call it. But when you have a setback or an obstacle or a failure, I want you to sit down and actually really extract the lessons from that. The sooner you do it after the event, the more effective it is, because it shuts down all the negative self-talk and stuff that usually comes along with something that we assume is bad. I will also say that some of my biggest failures in my life have turned out to give me some of the best blessings and gifts in my life. And it's just the way it works. Any questions about this? Hit me up and ask. Otherwise, share in the comments below when you've done this, or maybe one huge lesson that you learned from doing this exercise, so that we can learn from one another. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye. Be more confident today.